welcome to my YouTube channel, Get to Try with St. Austin Ngbede. I'm happy to be back again. Happy new month to all of you, the month of April. Yes, in today's video, I'm going to be dropping 10 questions and answers on the LEKKI Headmaster. This question will be coming out from the LEKKI Headmaster in your English exams. And I've done it before. I gave 10 questions and I actually answered it my previous video. Now when you check my YouTube page, you will see it. I've done 10 questions and I also answered it. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving another 10 questions. Again, I'll answer it again, so that for you to know more about the LEKKI Headmaster, for you to understand more about the LEKKI Headmaster, and know the angle that the question will be coming out from. As the English question, English question will be coming out from. That is the angle that they are going to set it from. That's taking it from the LEKKI Headmaster text. So I'm going to give another 10 questions again, and I'll answer it again for you to understand it. Now, before I proceed, I would like you to subscribe, like, and share, and also comment on the comment section. Thank you. I remain St. Austin Ngbede. Now, question 1. Question 1 says, what was the common ritual at morning assembly at Stardom School on Tuesdays and Thursdays? That's the morning ritual on the assembly ground. Now, A said what? Christian and Muslim prayers. B, words of education. C, the second standard of the national anthem. And then D, the principal's address. The answer to this question is what? The second standard of the national anthem. Now, that's the ritual of the standard school. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday is to say the second standard of the national anthem. And then you could found this on page 6 of the novel. That's the answer is C. Now, question 2 said, how much was the boarding house fee per section at Stardom School before it was reduced? A, 163,000 naira. B, 250,000 naira. C, 160,000 naira. D, 93,000 naira. The answer to this question is B, 250,000 naira. Yes, the amount the boarding house was paying was 250,000 naira before it was reduced to how much? 165,000 naira. This could be found on page 6 of the novel. When you go to page 6 of the novel, as the LEKKI Headmaster, you see the answer there, which is 165,000 naira. And then question 3 said, who instructed the chemistry teacher to conclude the assembly after Mr. Pepper burst into tears? Who instructed the chemistry teacher to conclude the assembly after Mr. Pepper burst into tears? A, the principal. B, the managing director. C, the vice principal. D, the school nurse. Now, the answer to this question is the vice principal. Mrs. Ape instructed the chemistry teacher to what? Mr. Justus Annabelle to what? To conclude what? The assembly. And you could see this on page 5 of the novel. You go to page 5 of the novel, you see the answer there. Then question 4 says the principal was nicknamed the LEKKI Headmaster because A, he lived in Lekki during his time as headmaster. B, he humorously imitated characters from the village headmaster. C, he introduced a new curriculum in the school. D, he founded Stardom Kiddies School. Are we there? Now, that's who nicknamed. That's the principal was nicknamed the LEKKI Headmaster because the answer to this question is B. He humorously imitates who? The character from the village headmaster. That's imitating characters from the village headmaster. He has been watching the village headmaster. No, he imitated what? Imitate what? The characters, some of the characters. And then the student now looked at him and started calling him the LEKKI Headmaster, not the village headmaster. Because if he's teaching, he will tell them more about what? The LEKKI Headmaster, in order for the subject or the topic to be what? To be catchy. So the student just looked at him and said, no, okay, now you are the what? You are the LEKKI Headmaster. The reason why that name was given to him was because he loved the village headmaster. It was a television series that he watched. Each time he watched, he would come to the class and then he would imitate one of the characters. So that was why he was nicknamed the LEKKI Headmaster. And then number 5 said what? Why did the vice principal contact the MD after Mr. Pebbles crying incident at the assembly? Why did the vice principal contact the MD after Mr. Pebbles crying incident at the what? At the assembly? A. To arrange an emergency meeting. B. Because parents were calling with concerns. C. To announce the principal's retirement. D. To discuss boarding fee reduction. Now the answer to this question is what? Is B. Because parents were calling with concern. Immediately Mr. Pebble burst into tears, and and that emotion that he portrayed during the assembly, parents started calling the vice principal. What is going on? What was going on? Like, what happened? What is happening in the school? And then the vice principal quickly called the what? The MD, in order for her to know what is going on. So it was because of the calling of the parents. They were calling him, calling the vice principal, calling her. That was why she called the MD. And then you could find this in what? Found this on page 6 of the novel. When you go to page 6 of the novel, you see the answer there. And then question 6. What was Mr. Pebble's monthly salary at Stardom Schools? What was Mr. Pebble's salary at Stardom Schools? A. 400,000. B. 200,000. C. 600,000. D. 100,000. Now the answer to this question is what? 400,000. Mr. Pebble was receiving 400,000 as his salary. Take-home salary was 400,000. Wow, that was very nice one. And then you could find this on what? On page 11 of the Lekki Headmaster. When you go to page 11 of the Lekki Headmaster, read it, and then you will see that it was 400,000 they were paying Stardom Spain and Mr. Pebble. And then question 7 said, why did the Fruitful Future School fall? Why did the Fruitful Future School fall? That was question 7. A. The teachers were unqualified. B. Pebble was not willing to be involved in ritual practice in the area. C. The location lacked basic infrastructure. D. The school had poor management. Why did the Fruitful Future School fall? The answer to this question is C. The location lacked basic infrastructure. Yes, the location lacked what? Basic infrastructure. That was why the Fruitful Future School what? Fails. And then you could find this on page 39 of the novel. And when you go to page 39 of the novel, you see the answer there. Then question 8 said, what was the term? That's what was the term Rofos that Mr. Audu used when talking about Mr. Pebbles most likely refer to? That's what does the term Rofos that Mr. Audu used when talking about Mr. Pebble most likely refer to? A. Friendly greetings. B. Petty disagreement and conflict. C. School project. D. Mismanagement issues. Now the answer to this question is what? B. And then B said what? Petty disagreement and conflict. Mr. Pebble is used to what? Is used to the village headmaster. He watches the village headmaster, including Mr. Audu. Is one of the best-selling TV series then. That was in 80s. That was one of the best-selling 80s, 70s. That's the village headmaster. And then he knows that when Mr. Pebble normally address issues like conflict issues, he knows that Mr. Pebble is using the step. Village headmaster. There's this conflict, and there's this character that manages conflict in the village headmaster. So each time Mr. Pebble is managing conflict in the school, Stardom School, he will just look at Mr. Pebble and then recall that particular character, what the character used to say. And then that was why he talked about that. He used to call Mr. Pebble that. If they're talking about Mr. Pebble, we just use that in Rofos. Do you understand? So the answer to it is petty disagreement and conflict. That's B. And then number 9 of the question says what? It says, what grammatical rules was the source of disagreement between the MD and the principal? What grammatical rules was the source of disagreement between the MD and the principal? A. The use of the subjunctive mood. B. The use of conjunction such as and. C. The subject-verb agreement with phrases like as well as. Then D. The proper placement of modifiers. Now, the answer to this question is what? C. The subject-verb agreement with phrases like as well as. So that's the answer to the question. There's this disagreement, grammatical disagreement. That's rules, disagreement between the MD and what? And the principal, Mr. Pebo. Yes, because the principal the MD decided to sack one of the teacher, because the teacher did what? He gave the children a write-up and say as well as Jide, as well as Jide comes. So that as well as Jide comes was somehow, even you as an English student, you look at this and say, no, I'm not sure this is correct. As well as Jide comes. Do you understand? That's the subject verb. Now that comes now is what? Is a verb. Now as well as Jide comes. Do you understand? Now is a verb. Do you understand? So is subject verb is what? Is agreement between two subjects. The two of them are around, so is agreement. So as well as Jide comes. So it's correct. So but the principal could not sit down. The MD didn't take note. He just believed that's wrong. So when he sacked the teacher, the teacher, Mr. Fofo, the principal was angry. And then he told the MD that particular phrase was actually right. So that was a disagreement between the MD and Mr. Pebo. And then if you want to see this, you go to chapter 6 of the Lekki Headmaster. You see this particular question and the answer there. Then number 10 says what? What conclusion did the teachers draw from Mr. Fefo's sack incident? Now listen to this question. What conclusion did the teachers draw from Mr. Fefo's sack incident? What conclusion? Now he was sacked. A very good teacher, a very dedicated teacher, very intelligent teacher, English teacher, very, very intelligent. He was the English teacher of Stardom School, very intelligent, and then he was sacked. And then the staff drew a conclusion, and the option to this now. A. Open day is a stressful event. B. There is no job security in the establishment. C. Parents should not interfere with teaching methods. D. The MD is always fair in her discussion or decision. The MD is always fair in her what? In her decision. Now, listen to this question very carefully. What conclusion did the teachers draw from Mr. Fefo's sack incident? A. Open day is a stressful event. B. There is no job security in the establishment. C. Parents should not interfere with teaching method. D. The MD is always fair in her decision. The answer to this question is B. There is no job security in the establishment. Yes, that's the answer. That's what the staffs in Stardom School, concluded that no job security. How can you just serve this school for so long and then they'll just sack you like that without no benefit, without no gratuity, without no pension? So no job opportunity, no job security, no job security. So the answer is what? B. There is no job security in the establishment. And then if you want to see this answer, the answer, you see the answer. When you go to page 31 of the novel, you see the answer there, the question and the answer. I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much. And God bless you. Please don't forget, like I said earlier, subscribe, like, share, and also comment on the section box. Thank you very much. I remain Saint Austin, Ghetto Tribes. Thank you. Bye-bye.